In the velvet cloak of midnight, where silence reigns and fear whispers through the wind, legends are born not from glory, but from sheer, unyielding will. Imagine a world where invaders from the stars thought they owned the shadows, picking off humanity's defenders one by one. But what if one lone figure, armed with nothing but cunning and grit, flipped the script? This isn't just a story. It's a testament to the fire in the human spirit that burns hotter when the odds are impossible. Dive in and feel the pulse of defiance that proves why no one messes with us when the sun goes down. Captain Alara Voss crouched in the underbrush of the shattered forest on Colony World Zeta 9, her breath steady despite the chill that seeped through her tactical suit. The Zareth invaders had landed 3 months ago, their snipers, elite hunters with infrared implants and cloaking tech, ruling the night. Humans called them Ghost Reapers because no one ever saw them coming. Alara, a former Earth Marine with scars from a dozen battles, knew the stats. Over 200 human soldiers lost to these invisible killers in the dark hours. But tonight, she wasn't hiding. She was hunting. The first target was perched on a ridge 500 meters away, his silhouette barely a glitch in her enhanced visor. Alara had spent days mapping their patterns, using scavenged alien tech to jam their comms subtly. She moved like a shadow herself, her boots silent on the damp earth. The sniper's rifle glinted faintly under the twin moons. She closed in, heart pounding but mind clear. A quick slash with her vibro knife ended him before he could twitch. One down. She dragged the body into a ravine, stripping his gear for intel. A map showing 9 more positions encircling the human outpost. Adrenaline surged as she slipped toward the second, hidden in a cluster of jagged rocks. The Zareth were arrogant, assuming humans feared the night too much to strike back. Alara used that. She rigged a decoy flare from the first sniper's pack, drawing faint attention without alerting the pack. As the second one shifted to investigate, she pounced from above, her silenced pistol whispering death. 2 eliminated. The forest seemed alive now, every rustle a potential threat, but she pushed on, her training kicking in. Years in the Corps had taught her patience, but tonight demanded speed. Sunrise was 5 hours away, and the outpost needed this threat gone to launch a counterattack at dawn. By the third, fatigue nipped at her edges. This one was smarter, nestled in a tree canopy with motion sensors. Alara circled wide, using a stream to mask her approach. She climbed a nearby trunk, muscles burning, and waited for the wind to cover her leap. The takedown was messy, a struggle that left her with a bruised rib, but silent. 3 gone. She paused to patch a cut on her arm, scanning the stolen map. The remaining snipers formed a web, each covering the others. Breaking it would require flawless timing. As she moved to the fourth, a distant howl echoed, native wildlife or a signal. No time to wonder. She pressed forward, the weight of her people's survival fueling every step. The fourth sniper guarded a narrow pass, his position elevated on a cliff. Alara scaled the rock face in the dark, fingers raw against the stone. Halfway up, a loose pebble clattered down. She froze, but no shot came. At the top, she found him dozing, overconfidence again. A garrote wire from her kit ended it swiftly. For down. Now, the real challenge loomed. The central cluster. She hacked into his communicator, listening to faint alien chatter. They suspected nothing yet. Slipping into the valley below, she felt the first hint of dawn's approach, a subtle lightening in the east. Time was her enemy now, but so were the Zareth, and she refused to lose. Alara's path to the fifth sniper wound through a minefield of their own design, pressure plates linked to alarms. She marked them with her visor, stepping like a dancer in a deadly ballet. This one was vigilant, scanning the horizon with thermal sights. She used a capture drone, small and silent, to buzz near him as distraction. As he turned, she closed the gap, her knife finding its mark. 5 eliminated. Halfway there, but her body screamed for rest. She ignored it, chugging a stim pack from her medkit. The map showed the next 4 in a diamond formation around a command post. disrupting that could turn the tide for the entire colony. Venturing deeper, the terrain grew treacherous, swamps that sucked at her boots, insects buzzing in clouds. The sixth sniper lurked in a submerged blind, half-flooded. Alara waded in, water cold as ice, holding her breath to avoid ripples. She surfaced behind him, pulling him under in a chokehold until he went limp. Six gone. Emerging dripping, she shook off the chill and checked her chrono. 3 hours left. The outpost survivors were counting on her, families huddled in bunkers, praying for a miracle. She became that miracle, 1 kill a time. The seventh was mobile, patrolling a perimeter. Alara shadowed him for 20 minutes, matching his pace. When he paused to adjust his scope, she struck from the reeds, her pistol suppressor muffling the shot. 7 down. Now, the air hummed with tension. She sensed the net tightening. Using the patrol route, she ambushed the 8th at a checkpoint, rigging his own explosives to cover her escape after the kill. 8 eliminated. Pain throbbed in her side, but victory's scent drove her. The last 2 guarded the heart of their setup, a relay tower beaming signals to their fleet. Infiltrating the tower's base, Alara disabled a guard drone with an EMP grenade. The 9th sniper spotted her shadow too late. A thrown knife silenced him. 9 gone. The 10th, the leader, waited atop the tower, alerted now by the silence of his team. She climbed the structure, wind whipping her face, exchanging fire in bursts. A grazing shot burned her shoulder, but she reached the top, tackling him over the edge in a desperate grapple. They fell, but she activated her grav chute, landing hard while he didn't. 10 before sunrise. As the first rays broke, Alara signaled the outpost. The night was theirs. Exhaustion hit like a wave, but Alara pushed through the final stretch back to base. The humans emerged, cheers echoing as they realized the sniper's reign had ended. Medics patched her wounds while commanders planned the dawn assault, now possible without the ghostly threats. Word spread through the colonies. One woman had reclaimed the night. The Zareth, for the first time, felt fear in the dark. Alara's name became legend, a beacon for humanity's unbreakable spirit against the stars. The sun climbed higher, bathing Zeta, 9 in light, but Alara knew battles weren't won in a single night. She rested briefly, then geared up again, ready for whatever came next. In the HFY archives, her story inspired recruits, proof that when invaders think they've conquered the shadows, humanity strikes back harder. The sun had barely risen above the broken horizon of Zeta, 9 when the first cheers died down in the human outpost. People came out from the bunkers, faces pale and tired, but their eyes shone with something new. Hope. They looked at Alara Voss like she was not real. A woman covered in mud, blood, and alien tech stood among them, breathing hard, one hand pressed against the burn on her shoulder. 10 snipers gone. 10 invisible killers who had owned the night for months. Now the night belonged to humans again. Alara did not smile. She only nodded when the commander, a gray-haired man named Reyes, put a heavy hand on her arm. "You just bought us daylight," he said quietly. "We attack at noon. You rest now." But rest did not come easy. Her body hurt in places she forgot could hurt. Every muscle felt like fire. Her mind, though, would not stop moving. She kept seeing the faces of the Zareth snipers she had killed. Not because she felt sorry. She felt nothing for them. But she remembered their gear, their positions, the small details that told her something bigger. The way the last one, the leader, had a special patch on his arm. A black claw mark. She had seen that mark before in old intelligence files. It meant he belonged to the Shadow Fong elite. And Shadow Fong never worked alone. She sat on an ammo crate outside the medical tent, while a young medic cleaned the bullet graze on her shoulder. The boy kept glancing at her, like she might vanish if he looked away too long. "You really did it," he whispered. 10 of them. By yourself. Alara looked at the sky. The twin moons were fading fast. "I had no choice," she said. "They were going to kill everyone tonight if I waited." The boy swallowed. "Are there more?" She did not answer right away. She thought about the stolen communicator she still carried in her pocket. It had been quiet since the last kill. Too quiet. Maybe she finally said. "And if there are, they will come angry." She stood up, ignoring the sharp pain in her ribs. She walked to the edge of the outpost where the forest began again. The trees stood like black skeletons against the morning light. Somewhere out there, the Zareth fleet still waited in orbit. They would not accept this defeat quietly. By 10 in the morning, the outpost buzzed with activity. Soldiers checked weapons. Engineers fixed damaged hover tanks. Medics ran from tent to tent. Alara found a quiet corner near the old water tower and sat down to clean her rifle. She took each piece apart slowly. Her hands moved on their own while her mind worked on something else. She remembered a rumor from 2 months ago. A scout team had disappeared near the old mining caves 30 kilometers north. They sent one last message before going silent. More than snipers. Something bigger. No one knew what it meant. Until now. Alara finished cleaning the rifle and put it back together. She stood up and walked to Commander Reyes' tent. Inside, Reyes and 3 officers were looking at a cracked holographic map. Blue human positions. Red Zareth positions. Too many red dots. Reyes looked up when she entered. "You should be sleeping, Voss." "I need to talk," she said. He waved the other officers out. When they were alone, Alara took the stolen communicator from her pocket and placed it on the table. "This belonged to their leader," she said. "I listened to it all night. Before I killed him, he sent one short burst message. 3 words in their language. I don't know what they mean, but the tone was not happy." Reyes frowned. "What do you think it was?" "Backup," Alara said. "Or revenge." Reyes rubbed his face. "We attack in 2 hours. If they send more, we are in trouble." "Then, let me go first," she said. "Let me scout the mining caves. If something is coming from there, I can slow it down." "You just fought all night," Reyes said. "You are half dead." "I'm still standing," she answered. "And I know the dark better than anyone here." Reyes looked at her for a long time. Finally, he nodded. "Take what you need. But you come back alive. We need you for the push." Alara left the tent without another word. She gathered her gear quickly. Extra ammunition. 2 more stimpaks. A small drone she had repaired herself. A thermal cloak to hide her body heat. And the vibro knife that had already tasted alien blood 10 times. By 11:30, she was moving through the forest again. The sun burned high now. Sweat ran down her face and back. The air smelled of smoke and wet dirt. Every few minutes, she stopped to listen. Birds were quiet. Too quiet. She reached the first ridge overlooking the old mining area at 1 in the afternoon. The caves looked like black mouths in the side of the mountain. Twisted metal rails ran out from the largest entrance like broken teeth. Old machinery sat rusting under the sun. Nothing moved. Alara crouched behind a fallen tree and sent the drone forward. The little machine buzzed low over the ground, camera feeding straight to her visor. At first she saw only empty space. Then, the drone turned toward the main entrance. She froze. Fresh tracks. Not human boots. Wide, clawed feet. Dozens of them. Leading inside. Her stomach tightened. This was not just more snipers. This was a full strike team. Maybe even a heavy assault unit. She recalled the old files again. Shadowfang had one special unit they used when normal hunters failed. They called it the Night Reavers. Big, armored, fast, and very angry when their brothers died. Alara pulled the drone back and thought fast. Noon attack was less than 30 minutes away. If the Reavers moved now, they could hit the outpost from behind while everyone was focused on the front. She had to stop them, or at least warn the others. She opened the stolen communicator and tried to send a quick burst to Reyes. Nothing. Jammed. They had learned. No choice then. She had to go inside. Alara moved down the slope carefully. She stayed low, using rocks and bushes for cover. When she reached the entrance, she smelled it. Oil. Metal. Something sour like burning wires. She pulled the thermal cloak over her shoulders and activated it. Her body heat dropped to almost nothing on scanners. She stepped inside. Darkness swallowed her. The tunnel was wide. Old lights flickered weakly on the ceiling. Water dripped somewhere far away. She walked slowly, rifle up, eyes scanning every shadow. After 50 meters, she saw the first body. One of the missing scouts. Face down. Armor cracked open like an egg. No blood, just burned meat. Plasma burns. She kept moving. Deeper in, the tunnel split into 3 paths. She chose the middle one because it had the most tracks. After another 100 meters, she heard them. Low growls, metal clicking, heavy steps. She pressed herself against the wall and waited. A moment later, the first Reaver appeared around the corner. It was huge, twice her height, armor black and thick, glowing red eyes behind a faceplate. One arm ended in a long plasma blade. The other carried a heavy repeater cannon. Behind it came more. 6, 7, 8. Alara counted 11 in total. Her heart hammered against her ribs. 11 against 1. No luck up. No daylight yet. She smiled a little in the dark. Good odds, she thought. She waited until the first one passed her position. Then she moved. She stepped out silently, raised her rifle, and fired 3 quick shots into the neck joint of the closest Reaver. The creature dropped without a sound. The others turned instantly. Red eyes locked on her. Alara ran. She sprinted down a side tunnel, boots pounding on metal grates. Behind her, the Reavers roared. Their heavy steps shook the walls. Plasma bolts lit the dark like lightning. She turned corners fast, using every trick she knew. She threw a flash grenade behind her. Bright white light exploded. The Reavers howled in anger. She kept running until she reached a narrow bridge over a deep pit. Old mining carts sat on one side. She climbed into the highest cart and waited. The Reavers came charging. The first one stepped onto the bridge. Alara pulled a det cord from her pack and tied it to the support beam. She waited. When 6 of them were on the bridge, she hit the detonator. The explosion was deafening. Metal screamed. The bridge collapsed. 6 Reavers fell into the dark pit, their roars cut short. Alara did not wait to celebrate. She jumped from the cart and ran again. 5 left. She led them through twisting tunnels. She used the environment, dropped loose rocks on their heads, flooded a passage with a broken water pipe, set small charges to collapse ceilings behind her. One by one they fell. First one caught in a cave-in. Second one slipped on wet metal and broke his neck on a rail. Third one took a full magazine to the faceplate. Fourth one she ambushed from above, dropping on his back and driving the vibro knife through the armor gap at the neck. The last one was the biggest. The leader, black claw mark on his chest plate. He stood in the middle of a large chamber, breathing hard, red eyes searching. Alara stepped out of the shadows. No more running. You killed my hunters, the creature growled in broken human speech. You kill my people first, she answered. The Reaver raised his plasma blade. Alara raised her rifle. They charged at the same time. He was fast for his size. The blade came down like thunder. Alara rolled under it, came up behind him, and fired point blank into the back of his knee joint. The armor cracked. He stumbled. She did not stop. She climbed his back like a tree, wrapped her legs around his neck, and jammed the vibro knife into the weak spot under his helmet. The creature roared one last time. Then he fell forward, dead. Silence returned to the caves. Alara slid off the body. Her hand shook. Blood dripped from a new cut on her cheek. She did not feel it. She checked her chrono. 12:45. The attack was supposed to start at noon. She hoped they waited. She took the leader's communicator. Bigger. Better. She opened it and sent one message. All clear. Cave secure. Send help. Then she sat against the wall and waited. Minutes later, she heard boots running toward her. Human boots. Commander Reyes came first, rifle ready. Behind him came soldiers, medics, engineers. Reyes stopped when he saw the bodies. 11 dead Reavers. One tired woman sitting in the middle. He walked over slowly. You did it again, he said. Alara looked up. Her face was dirty. Her eyes were very tired, but they were clear. I bought us more time, she said. Reyes knelt beside her. You bought us the war. Medics rushed forward. They lifted her carefully. She did not fight them. As they carried her out into the sunlight, the sky above Zeta 9 was full of smoke and fire. The human ships had started their attack. The Zareth fleet was answering. But down here on the ground, the night had been taken back.